Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It is fantastic to have you here. I hope you're having an incredible day. I'm very excited because today Joe and I are working on a Damascus steel anvil. Today is part 2. I'm really hoping that we can get it done. But first I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Audible. Of course, you guys know I love Audible. Every time you see me with my earbuds in, I'm listening to audiobooks, taking in knowledge, listening to stories. It's an absolute blast. It makes the workday just wonderful. It makes the commute wonderful. You guys can get a 30-day free trial and a free audiobook if you go to audible.com/forge, link in the description, or you can text FORGE to 500-500. Ladies and gentlemen, today's gonna be an exciting day. We're gonna make a Damascus anvil. Thank you for joining me. Let's get on with it. Lighter. Of course, you can see that an anvil has a very wide foot on it. And that's part of what makes the shape so beautiful and gives it the stability that it needs. And so that isolated heat and that little ball fuller really helps to do it. There's something that you'll often hear blacksmiths talk about, specifically and often when blacksmiths will work with a blacksmith from another country and they don't speak the language, they still work fine and are able to do a great job. And I was just thinking here, as Joe and I are working, saying like almost 0 words to each other, both having a blast. Are you having a blast?
I'm having a blast.
See, we're having a blast, saying almost no words to each other, and we're able to like just make a movement with the tongue, and instantly we know what the other is about to do. This is fun, the teamwork of being able to work. 2 people that know their way around the workshop, working together, just with the nod of a head, being able to suggest and give an idea for the next process. The other being able to instantly realize, damn, that was a great idea. Vice versa. It's great. Love the teamwork. Love the teamwork. It's hilarious. You know, I walk over here after doing a little tweaking there, and then Joe immediately opens up the vise, knowing exactly what the next step was, which is he's just taking that little rasp and he's taking away some of the burrs that form as it's just not that easily flowing with how it is we want it to go with the dies. It's amazing, not a word spoken. That's just the coolest thing. When 2 craftsmen are able to work, no words spoken, just fantastic. So we saw the crack open up a little bit earlier when we were forging the feet, but again, it looks like the crack has disappeared. So Joe's worked his voodoo powers and has somehow made the crack disappear. Again, for the second time. Very impressive. You can see the forging is still pretty rough. We don't have a table in there. So what I think that we're gonna do next is working over here. We're gonna forge that table in there, working half on, half off, get the horn how it needs to be, and then maybe a little more drawing out over here. Little final refinement, and that's gonna be the forging of the Damascus anvil. What a blast this is. We have forged a Damascus anvil. We were at the precipice of failure. Failure was there. And somehow, with Joe's tenacity, and perhaps as he indeed defined insanity, I would also say with his insanity, this thing is together and it doesn't look like it's cracked. And we have forged the Damascus anvil. It looks beautiful. And the next step is to drill the hardy hole, drill the Pritchell hole, drift the hardy hole, and then grind this puppy so that we can eventually see the beauty of the Damascus. So we're finishing off the drifting on the anvil with a small little square drift so I don't damage the feet here. I'm using a set hammer to drive the drift. And as we get into the low temperatures, this should be the finished drifted square hole. We drilled a 6mm hole beforehand. And of course, there we go. We have a beautiful hardy hole and a beautiful Pritchell hole. This is very exciting. It's going to cool down, and now it is time to grind it. I'm not going to be grinding it. I gotta go down to London for a YouTuber shindig. You know who is going to be grinding it?
I will be grinding it.
Okay, I am back, and look what an incredible job Joe has done grinding this. He was nervous before going into it. I tell him, Joe, you're gonna do a great job. Don't worry, you're gonna do a fantastic job grinding it, and he's done an incredible job. What I'm now gonna do is I'm now gonna hop in and I'm gonna do a couple little tweaking touches. Just make sure that we got a really nice, consistent, high grit finish on there. Something that's gonna etch up well before it is that we do indeed etch it, which is very exciting. Make sure, of course, that it is thoroughly degreased. It has the 400 grit. We haven't hand sanded it. I don't think it's going to be necessary. And I'm going to wipe off the excess degreaser. Open up the bucket of acid. Okay, I forgot to touch mark it. Joe thinks I might mess it up. I reckon right about there. What do you reckon?
So a bit higher.
No, we got a double double stamp. As I hammered, it bounced up and then hit it again.
Well, I'd say don't touch it anymore. Just leave it as is now.
No, we're gonna grind it out.
No, the deed's been done. Leave it. No, leave it. Are you going to try it? You're not going to try it again, are you? You've done it again?
All fixed. Now it's time for another degrease and then the etch.
In we go. Oh, I just had a look at it. Oh my goodness. What? Oh my goodness. We have made a Damascus anvil, and this thing is beautiful. Oh yes. We have made the Damascus steel anvil, and what a blast it has been. Joe's done a fantastic job. Make sure you check him out. And of course, I want to thank today's sponsor, and that is Audible. It's an audiobook platform that I absolutely love. You always see me here with my earbuds. I've got them plugged in, and I'm listening to audiobooks, which is, it's a fantastic way to spend the workday and spend the commute being able to absorb information, listen to stories, listen to, you know, all these human experiences that are so far detached from anything that I'm ever gonna have to go through or put myself in. Case in point, a fantastic book that I just finished reading is by Robert O'Neill, and it's The Operator. The little subtext there is firing the shots that killed Osama bin Laden, and my years as a Navy SEAL warrior. This guy is a Navy SEAL, utter badass, and was on the team that did end up going to kill Osama bin Laden. The book doesn't really necessarily get to that for a long way. It covers the whole process of going through training and, you know, a lot of the missions that he was a part of, and I find it utterly fantastic. A really, really good read. Really recommend it. Go to audible.com/forge. You can pick up a 30-day free trial, and you can get a free audiobook. So you'd be able to get The Operator by Robert O'Neill, and you'd be able to enjoy it while you're commuting, while you're driving. You can also text FORGE to 500-500 for your free 30-day trial and your free book. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this video and for being awesome, because I get to listen to amazing audiobooks the whole time I'm here working. Ladies and gents, I'm going to see you tomorrow on the next episode.